Hey everyone, I am back. It's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. I hope that you have had an awesome and amazing week. For those of you who tune in every single Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, on Black Women Empowered Incorporated Facebook page, YouTube, and LinkedIn Live. Welcome back, and thanks so much for joining today. For those of you who are brand new to Mental Health Moment, and this is your first Mental Health Moment, welcome, welcome. It's Dr. Hammond here with your Mental Health Moment. And for those of you who are tuning in to the replay on Dr. Nikisha Hammond YouTube, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And thanks for those who are starting to join here. It's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. So hopefully these comments will be coming in here soon. Let me know where you're tuning in from in the chat. I'm for those of you who are new and don't know, I'm in the Tampa Bay area of Florida where I reside. Quick announcement before I get started today while people are starting to join, and hopefully my comments will come in here soon. But quick announcement is I know many of you have reached out and said, hey, where are you speaking next? Well, where am I speaking next that's open to the public? So the next place that I'm speaking at that is open to the public is I know it's going to be an amazing summit. It's called Get to Worthy Summit. And the information is here on the screen, but you can register at gettoworthysummit.com. It's going to be May 24th and 25th in Philadelphia. I will be there. Super looking forward to it. It's a great friend of mine who's absolutely amazing and powerful in the mental health space. Nate Evans Jr. is hosting this summit. It's going to be fantastic. Again, you can get all the details on gettoworthysummit.com. So be sure to register, and I hope to see you all there. The summit is all things mental health and wellness. So I encourage you to check it out. And for some reason, I still can't see the comments, unfortunately, which happens sometimes, or sometimes the comments come in a little bit slower for some reason, but still let me know where you're tuning in here in the chat. And then hopefully I will actually be able to see where you guys are tuning in from. But again, hope you had a great week. It's crazy to believe we are like, just, I don't know about you, but I feel like this year's been flying by, and I'm kind of like, slow down year. What's going on here? There's so much going on. But nonetheless, today's mental health moment is about feel good hormones, because believe it or not, it's something that I think we take for granted. I think some of these things we know that I'm going to teach you today and remind you of, but we take these things for granted. So for those of you who are new to Mental Health Moment is about how do you become the best version of who you are so you can show up powerfully for yourself and for those around you. Really important, of course, right? We want to be the best versions of who we are. So one of the ways to do that, which we've talked about at length on Mental Health Moment, is to check in with yourself. Very important. But another thing to think about is that you partially get to control how your body feels. And I'm going to share with you what I mean by that. Like when I say feel good hormones, you may know what I'm talking about, but you literally, like, to me, that's one of the most exciting things when you really think about how, and it's not to take away from the stress, whatever stress that you may be going through, of course not. Please get the appropriate help that you need to get through the hard times, right? Whether it's from friends, whether it's from family members, whether it's from a mental health professional, or whomever it is around you who could be supportive of your experience. That may be difficult sometimes. So not to minimize that, but also knowing on a day-to-day basis that you get an opportunity to control your, like, what's happening in your body. And what I mean by that, when we think of feel good hormones, oh yeah, I can actually see the comments now. Thanks for still joining here. It's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. The comments are slowly trickling in, you all. But nonetheless, when you think about the feel good hormones in your body, meaning serotonin and dopamine and those types of hormones, which you can put yourself in situations where you experience those hormones, where you experience feel good hormones, right? So when you think of Are you engaged in relaxation techniques, right? Are you engaged in things that make you happy, that bring you joy? Even if you're watching something on your phone, something that's funny, and you're laughing, even if you're doing something for a short amount of time, but it brings you some sort of joy, right? Your brain responds to that. Whether it's serotonin, whether it's dopamine, your brain responds to that. Your body also responds to that, right? We want to experience joy. And hi, thanks for joining here from Pennsylvania. It's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. And like I said, I'm sure you guys are putting it in the comments like you normally do. For some reason, I can't see many of the comments today like I usually do. But nonetheless, just keep letting me know where you're tuning in from in the comments. But again, thinking about your what's happening in your body, some days, and not all days, but a lot of days you have a choice, right? Sometimes things are just so overwhelming that our body is flooded with anxiety or sadness, or cortisol, which many of you have heard of, a stress hormone that doesn't help. It may make us feel irritable. It may make us physically, like our stomach hurts and all those sorts of things, right? But some of it, again, we can control. We have an opportunity to say, you know what, I'm going to choose something today to try to get my cortisol levels lower. I'm going to choose a relaxation exercise, or I'm going to choose to meditate, or I'm going to choose to engage in something that is meaningful to me and brings me joy. Right. So again, you have an opportunity. And thanks for joining from Chicago. Welcome, welcome. Virginia. Now the comments are starting to come in a little bit, you all. Virginia's in the house. Welcome. Thanks so much for joining here. It's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. And today we're talking about feel good hormones, because what's happening, we always talk about mental health, right? Which is important, but your mental health also affects your physical health, and your physical health affects your mental health. So this is a cycle. And one of the things that's really, really beneficial about you taking care of yourself mentally is that it also trickles down into how your physical body feels as well. So there's a lot that, thankfully, there's a lot that we can prevent. I mean, when it comes to heart disease, when it comes to high blood pressure, when it comes to managing diabetes, when it comes to, I mean, there's a whole list of physical health things that can be managed, maybe not cured per se, with every person, but it can be managed by the way that we take care of ourselves. And thanks for joining from Dallas is in the house, checking in from Pennsylvania. You guys probably wrote these comments, I don't know, maybe minutes ago or so. But like I said, for some reason, my comments are coming in a little bit slower today, but they're slowly trickling in. So again, thanks for those who are starting to join here. It's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. So today I want you to write in the comments. I may or may not be able to see it, but let me know, like, if you can be committed to say, you know what, I'm going to work on really thinking about the feel good hormones in my body. So if you're committed to doing that and you want to feel better, right? You want to feel good, in the comments put good. Just write the word good, right? If you're just like, okay, I'm going to be committed to trying to make myself feel good. Now, here's the thing again. I want to remind you all, it doesn't mean every single day, every single minute of your life you're going to feel good. That would be completely unrealistic, right? Completely unrealistic. Things happen, life happens. Maybe right now, someone said hello from the US. Good. Welcome, welcome. Maybe right now you're even going through a storm, or you're going through a darker time, which is normal in the scheme of life. We're all going to go through something, right? But if you commit to saying, I deserve to be happy. I deserve to be emotionally healthy. I deserve to have joy. When you commit to that, though, then you allow yourself to say, what can I do today to bring myself joy? What can I do today? Maybe you're going through a stressful time. What can I do today to try to lower my cortisol levels in my body? Because physically, if you're really checking in with yourself mentally and physically, sometimes like your body's like, nope, like not today. Your body can be kind of screaming at you. You're exhausted, or you're stressed out, or you're feeling achy, or all sorts of different things. Not sometimes, a lot of times our body lets us know how we're doing also. So it's listening to your body and listening mentally to how you feel. I see a lot of good comments in the chat here, which is so beautiful. Great job, you. I'm glad you are making the commitment for yourself. And if no one told you today, as an aside, I am super proud of you. I'm always excited for you all who join on Mental Health Moment, and you're just taking the time, the short amount of time out of your busy schedule to think about how can I be better as a person? How can I grow? Right? Whether it's again physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, we're all on different wellness journeys, and it's okay. We're all at different places. But I'm glad that many of you all are saying that because you deserve that. There, it's funny. I just went to a conference this past weekend in Atlanta, and it was a speakers conference, and I was talking to a fellow speaker, and we were just talking about how we talk to different communities, and she also does work in the mental health and wellness space as well. And we were sharing with each other how sometimes for some odd reason, and this is not from a place of blame by any means, but for some odd reasons, like we have conversations with people who feel like it's like it's like there's some reward or something like that for suffering, right? Which there's not, you all. There's no trophy out there for suffering. Like you deserve to be happy. You deserve to be emotionally healthy. You deserve to feel good in your body. And some of it you get to control, which is pretty exciting. Like when you put in the self care, I know if you've been on Mental Health Moment, if you've been watching for a while, you know how much I preach self care, especially because I've been very transparent with you all. Many years ago, I was not at all in the place that I should have been with self care, like at all. Polar opposite of where I am today. So I know that life, nor do I want to go back to that life. And I would rather be sharing with you all and many people that I speak with about ways to not get to burnout and instead take care of yourself. Right. But it's so important with the self-care because again, it's affecting you mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. Like there's so much that can come out of that. And again, allowing yourself to have whatever it is that's fun for you. What's fun for me may not be fun for you, but whatever it is that's fun for you, whatever it is that brings you joy, whatever it is that brings you laughter, allowing yourself to feel those things because again, your body knows too. Your body knows. And I read this thing on, I think it was on Instagram somewhere, that said if it said something like if you don't take a break, your body will take the break for you. And how many of you know what I mean by that? Where sometimes you're just so exhausted that maybe your body shuts down and your body will be like, I need a nap, or you need, extra rest, or you really, really need extra hydration, extra water, or whatever it is. And your body's screaming at you to take care of your body. And that happens because we have to give ourselves the self care, commit to the self care. You have to allow yourself to say, what can I do today to reset, recharge, right? Like, hopefully, wherever you're at with your wellness journey, I hope for you that you get to the place where this will be a daily habit. And if you're like Dr. Hammond, I'm just at the beginning of this journey, which is cool. I can commit to once a month, kind of checking in with myself or doing some sort of self care, or maybe you're at once a week. Fantastic, just start. But your goal, hopefully, is to get to once a day, where every single day you really are very mindful of where you're at in your wellness journey and very mindful of how you're feeling, how you're doing, and making sure you're doing your best to experience those feel good hormones and take care of your body and take care of your mental health and take care of your physical health and spiritual health, right? And emotional health. Hi from South Africa. Welcome, welcome. Someone said it's so true. So again, you have that choice. You just do. You absolutely have that choice. So make that commitment to yourself. Right now, again, I've shared many times, I think before and on different platforms, that years ago when I just for some reason it made sense at the time. I'm not sure why, but nonetheless, didn't know what I know now. It made sense to not be thinking as much as I should have been about nutrition and about sleep and about self-care and about checking in with myself. Like that wasn't the priority. But now today, with what I know today, it is a very high priority. So on a daily basis, I'm always asking myself, how can I be better? How can I be a better version of me? How can I show up better for everyone around me, whether it's my family, whether it's my friends and the work settings and the different roles that I play in different communities, like how, right? How can I be better? And also how can I make sure I'm taking care of myself? Which this year, so every year I'm trying to do something different, you all. But this year I've done, which I wanted to do, and I have been doing a lot more meditation, which I have been loving. Like I would say on average, like 6 days a week. Some days I don't get to the meditation. So I would say on average about 6 days out of the week. But even though I don't get to the meditation, I'm still doing other things when it comes to self-care every single day. Like because it's such a high priority, because I know how important the feel good hormones are, because I'm trying to keep my stress level low, because I'm trying to take care of my physical body as well as my emotional state and mental state, um, right? And spiritual growth. Like all these things are really, really important for you. So, for those of you who are new to Mental Health Moment, well, we're here every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live on Black Women Empowered Incorporated Facebook page, YouTube, and LinkedIn live. And there are so many tips, frankly, that I can share with you all. I want you to remember, though, to do what works for you. So, a couple mental health moments ago, I shared with you my, well, it's not new anymore. It feels like it's new, a new morning routine, but really, it's been a couple years. So, kind of newer morning routine, right? And I share with you what I did and what that entailed. If you're like, I don't want to do that, I want to do something completely different, or I want to tweak a couple of things, then you do that. You do what works best for you. Because as I told you all before, well, anyways, in the self-help space, there's so much information out there, and I'd rather you take the parts of mental health moment, like maybe one episode you're like, man, I know I need to incorporate this in my life. I'm gonna go heavily in that. And then another mental health moment, you might listen to something and say, you know what, I think I'm good in that department, right? So know yourself, right? Check in with yourself, check in with what your needs are. Your needs are not the same today as they were 5 years ago, nor will they be the same even maybe a month or two from now or next year, right? So that's why we have to constantly be checking in with ourselves. Someone said, someone said, I'm working on myself. Beautiful, beautiful. I love to hear that. And we should all be doing that and in the way that works best for you. So again, this year for me, I added in more meditation, actually guided meditation. Well, I do I don't want to say regular meditation, that sounds horrible, but there's different types of meditation. So some meditation sitting, alone by yourself, silent. Um, there's all sorts of ways to do meditation, but there's that type of meditation which most people think of, and then there's something called guided meditation, which is essentially someone listening to someone read. Well, they may be reading like a script, let's say, that guides you through all sorts of different things. So there's a lot of different ways to do that. Actually, they could be guiding you through a calm scenery, and you're imagining that in your head. There's different types of meditation where you could be working on relaxing your body. So there's a ton of different ways to do meditation. But nonetheless, that was something that intentionally I started adding in more of this year. Um, and so someone said, I do mindful breathing. Beautiful. Breathing is so powerful. We talk about that also so often. For those of you who are always tuning in a mental health moment, you know how much I talk about breathing. The reason why is because it's so, so powerful to do that, to get your mind as much as possible, even briefly, into the present moment. Most of us are not living in the present moment. Why? Because we're worried about something that happened yesterday or the day before or our childhood or something in the past somewhere, or we're thinking about the future and what do I need to do tomorrow and the day after that and what's going to happen in a couple months. Like that's usually where our brains are at. And it's a normal thing to go through that, but that's why it's important also, like that person mentioned about mindful breathing, is to get into a space where you take the deep breaths, reset, recharge as much as you can, be present in the current moment, even if it's just for a minute. I always preach Just take a minute, right? Take a minute for yourself every single day. Um, and yeah, so okay. I was reading some of your comments here. But nonetheless, so if you all need me at any time, you can always reach out to drnikishahammond.com. Also, again, as a reminder, for those of you who weren't here right at the beginning, you can also register for the Get to Worthy Summit. I will be speaking there. It's going to be in Philadelphia for those who are in the area, May 24th and 25th. I will be there. I know that summit is going to be so amazing. It's hosted by a dear friend of mine, Nate Evans Jr., who is just like phenomenal in the mental health space. So make sure to check it out. Make sure to register for that. It's all things mental health and wellness, how to be a better version of yourself, which is everything we teach, right? A mental health moment as well. So it's a continuation of that as well. Yep. Someone said, oh, they're here from Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome. And someone said they're here from Porter Ranch, California. Breathing brings clarity to our thinking. Absolutely. Absolutely. It so does. It absolutely does. So yeah, so if you all need me, you know where to reach me, or you can connect with me, Instagram, Dr.Hammond, or LinkedIn, Facebook, Dr. Nikisha Hammond, any of the major social media platforms. I'm usually sending out some sort of mental health resource or inspiration, because we all need that to stay uplifted, right? With all the things that tend to happen in our lives. But I will be back next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Black Women Empowered Incorporated Facebook page, YouTube, and LinkedIn Live. So be sure to spend this week thinking about, what can I do to release the feel-good hormones into my body? What can I do to reset, recharge? What can I do to reduce the stress hormones that are in our bodies, right? What can you do to get back into that place of peace, and in that place of yes, clarity, as someone mentioned, and also be in that place where you can think about, how do I grow as a person, physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally? Really, really important. So have an amazing week. Thanks so much for your comment. Have an amazing week. I'll see you back here next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Black Women Empowered Incorporated Facebook page, YouTube, and LinkedIn Live. Be blessed, and I'll see you next week. Bye, you guys.